Dream. Today is all about how to spot provider energy men. What do they actually look like? And also, what do they want? We had a very fun weekend, and we have a lot of details we need to share with you today.
And I'm Coach B, lifelong bachelor. Got married to this former single mom of four. And just really here to help you ladies tonight. Got a lot of juicy information from this weekend to share and just to really help you understand what those provider men, energy men look like and what they're looking for.
We don't normally come on here in the evening, but we had such a great weekend working with our girls from the Feminine Energy Academy. And we're like, okay, we need to jump on the live and share some things that are going to help you so much when it comes to attracting a provider energy man in dating. And I know what this feels like. I know what the struggle is, ladies. Okay. I used to be a former single mom. I had 4 little kids. I went through so much trauma and loss. And just a year ago, I met my amazing husband, and, we got married. We were engaged and married within 11 months. We got engaged in 8 months, married within 11 months, and now living our dream life, like literally traveling around, living my dream life. And this is something that we help our women do. And we got the receipts. We had another engagement just last week. So this is great. All right, so let's jump into it, baby.
Let's jump right into this, please. I know this weekend was really a good opportunity where we got a chance to see exactly. First off, we got a chance to be a part of a few things. We got a chance to be a part of weddings and anniversaries, things like that. But also just me having experiences even this weekend, yesterday, which was so good, yesterday and today, as we were going out shopping and things like that. So you want to dive in, and I'll jump into my story.
I'm seeing our girls from the Feminine Energy Academy. What's up? I'm loving your channel. Hey, Sally. Hey, Coach Sally. I love this. Okay. Oh, and Alicia's on here too. Okay, good. Our people are on here. We don't ever come on in the evening time. So if you're loving this vibe, then you have to let us know. Give us some likes and loves and comments. Okay. And of course, we're going to answer your girls' questions at the end. So if you have questions, drop your questions, comment your questions, and we will get to it. So, okay, what inspired this? True story. Okay, so Coach B, he's from Chicago, inner city Chicago. He knows everybody. So he has us going to all these events the whole time we're here. We're on vacation. We're having an amazing time. And so today we had another event with some of our ladies in the Feminine Energy Academy, just a nice intimate meetup. And we wanted to get another outfit because I think I've been shopping. I think today's day 3 of shopping. But he's still, he was a bachelor for 45 years. Yes. And so he's still getting used to this life of, being with a woman that wants to shop all the time. But anyway, true story. He's like, okay, I need to go get a shirt. And he's like, I want to go to TJ Maxx. So I was like, okay, babe, sure, whatever. Right. So I'm going to go with you. So we're going to TJ Maxx, and we're headed in that direction is what I would say. We're headed in that direction. And then we end up at a totally different store. Yeah. And within 2 seconds, I'm like, oh, I like this top. I like this top for him. Yeah. This top. And they're nice tops. Like one of the tops is, what he's wearing. And he's like, I would never, ever have picked or even noticed any of these tops. He's like, I was ready to go get my $20 TJ Maxx shirt.
Well, I'll go into the story. So the plan yesterday, we were talking about just going to get a couple of shirts. So I'm like, okay, I got the plan. I'll let her sleep in and, the script and do what she does. I'll sneak off to TJ Maxx right over there on State Street. I'll sneak off to TJ Maxx, buy my shirt, come back. So we take a walk there.
And he was like, shopping? And I was like, shopping? I'm coming. Okay, go ahead.
So we decided to walk there, and it was a little hot outside. So I'm just thinking, let's take a shortcut. Yeah. So our shortcut took us through Macy's. Yeah. So as we were going through Macy's, she starts shopping and picking out shirts. I had to remind her that we're in the wrong store. We're headed to TJ Maxx. She picked out over 4 or 5 shirts before we stepped like 3 feet into Macy's. She picked out shirts. I'm looking at them like, I don't know what you're picking out. I don't wear those type of
They're
shirts.
really nice.
I had a plan. I was going to go into TJ Maxx, get me a colored shirt.
Yeah.
That was it. That was wrapped up. The one you can't even try on.
Yeah.
I was just going to grab one of those, $20. Let me go ahead and go about my way, walk back. We end up going buying 4 or 5 shirts. We bought some pants. We just did so much that I didn't plan, but that's definitely something new for me. Not that I didn't go shopping, but I buy t-shirts on Amazon.
Yeah.
I'll buy button-ups on Amazon, polos on Amazon, and I'm good to go. But she brought a little color and flash to it today.
But the point of the story, ladies, is this is a perfect example of a provider energy type man. So Brian, Coach B, was used to doing other things like taking care of business. Provider type men typically don't put a lot of effort into how they look. And I even told him today, I'm like, babe, when we first met, like didn't like how you dress. Like, I'm just gonna be super honest. I didn't like how he dressed, but I loved the fact that he dressed that way because he put no effort into how he dressed. He honestly was wearing the most basic shirts, the most basic pants. He had these old glasses. He didn't like, his hair was like lined up, but he didn't have this like sexy bald head that he has now and like this nice like lineup that he has now. He didn't do any of that. And for some women, the reason why I'm saying this is because some women, they will look at guys and be like, ooh, I don't like how he dresses. I don't like his style. Ooh, I don't like this. I don't feel attracted. Blah, blah. No, you want guys that don't put a lot of effort into how they look. And I'm not saying that they're bums. I'm saying that they're busy doing other things. And this is a pattern that you'll see with really great guys, especially provider energy guys, where they're so busy taking care of people. They're so busy providing, working. They're just focused on other stuff. They don't have a deep need to be seen. That's the key. They don't have a deep need to be seen. Their value comes from provision, from providing. Okay? Because ladies, once you're married to them, like in this situation, yes, just like they upgrade your lifestyle, you upgrade their looks.
No, it's so true because my outfits, my closet was full of black t-shirts, gray t-shirts, white polos, white t-shirts. And guys, you understand, every week, every couple of weeks, I bought a new 5, 6 white t-shirts, black t-shirts. Just got to keep them fresh and just some plain shorts. And for me, that's okay. I'm good with that. It's easy. It's simple. It's easy to move around. I don't have to iron. I don't have to do anything. But understanding, I was also open. It's not that I don't want to wear this stuff. It's just it just takes time. I don't feel like going shopping. When I go in there, I just want to grab what I want and leave. I don't want to think too much. So that's most healthy provider energy man. We don't want to overthink something as simple as the way we dress. So that's something that I'm actually given to her, said, okay, what should I wear? What color should I wear? And being open to that, because that doesn't hurt me to allow her to help me in that area.
Yeah, exactly. And also to not get it twisted with, have you girls heard, let me know in the comments if you heard like a Build-A-Bear, right? Some people talk about you don't want to attract a Build-A-Bear. This is different than a Build-A-Bear. A Build-A-Bear is a man that you come in and you start taking care of him, meaning that you're like paying for things and you're completely updating his lifestyle. You're believing in him, you're taking care of him. He builds up his lifestyle, he builds up his look, and then builds up his confidence, and then he's then he wants to go and be with somebody else. That's not what I'm talking about. Okay, what I'm talking about is you are attracting a man that is whole, that's in his provider. He just doesn't care. He's not getting his value from being seen from women and being seen by people. So there's a difference there. And I'm seeing that you girls are dropping questions, which is great. So we're going to get to that in a moment. The other thing we wanted to mention is, how do you get in front of high value provider type men? The first thing, ladies, that I really want you to catch is they are literally everywhere. These types of men are everywhere. And a lot of times they're just not obvious because they're not loud. They're not making it super obvious. Maybe you can share the example of this weekend.
Yeah, the event we were at this weekend, I was casually just talking to people. And, whenever something is on the inside of you, if you're an artist, if you're a singer, it's going to come out. And being that I'm a coach and have been a coach for years, We just started talking about relationship. And the funny thing is, he's 48 years old. The guy I was talking to, he's an engineer. We were just talking, catching up, because
Mm-hmm.
I've known him for over 30 years. So we were just talking, catching up, haven't talked to him in a while.
Mm-hmm.
He was telling me a little of his life story about what he's been doing. And 48 engineer, never married, no kids, and just really talking about what he's looking for in a woman.
Mm-hmm.
He's open to getting married. It's not that he doesn't want to, he just hasn't found the right one for him. But one thing that he said that stood out when we were talking is he was like, look, I don't care. I'll take care of her. I'll pay all the bills. That's no issue. I just want someone where I'm going to continue to have my peace. I want to continue to feel like a man. It's not going to be a lot of nagging. And it was, for us as men, basic stuff. Someone he's attracted to. He was
Mm-hmm.
like, if I can find that, I'll get married in no time.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pay all the bills. I'll take care of everything. Because he's like, I'm doing that right now. So it's
Yeah.
not a stretch for him. And he's been an engineer for over 20 years. So as far as his salary, what he's bringing in, his
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle, he's like, he's open to even bringing somebody into that. He's looking for that, and he's ready to take care of a family. But it's just find him being in the right position and finding that woman that matches all those boxes.
And what were the things that he wanted?
Oh, he just wanted a woman he was attracted to. He just wanted to be able to come home and have his peace. He wanted someone who took care of themselves. It was not, I'll tell you what it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was nothing to do with a job. It
Mm-hmm.
was nothing to do with your career. It was nothing to do with where she lived.
Mm-hmm.
It was nothing to do with her degrees. It was
Mm-hmm.
just about, literally, he was describing a woman who's in her feminine.
Yeah, exactly. You probably didn't even realize it.
Exactly.
And see, ladies, this is what we're talking about. There's men like this everywhere. If you have the mindset and the energy of like, oh, there's no man, where is he? Where is he? Then you're in this energy that you will never be able to see him because you're in that lack energy. As soon as you shift your energy to there's provider energy men everywhere I go. These type of men love to date me. They want to marry me. You will start to notice them. And I'm talking offline and
Yes.
online, which, by the way, side note, ladies, if you need help with finding these guys, and you don't need to go search for them, I should say attracting them online, getting your dating profile updated, optimized. This is how a lot of our ladies have found their dream relationships and
Hmm.
who are now engaged. Then you can jump into the Feminine Energy Academy, of course. And of course, we will help you with your look, your image, your feminine energy so you can attract these types of guys. So go
Yeah,
ahead,
and it's
baby.
so interesting. I was checking it out.
Yeah.
I think it was Eric. He's like, I'm that type of guy. And the thing
Yes.
is, these type of guys, I won't say are a dime a dozen, but they're out there. It's
Mm-hmm.
so many guys I
Mm-hmm.
went to school with, I grew up with. These guys are out there. So it's not like they're hiding
Yeah.
or anything like that. They're walking right next to you. They're walking past you on the streets. They're in the grocery stores. It's just really understanding. And we talk about it a lot. It's really about you keeping the focus on yourself as far as who do you need to become, as
Mm-hmm.
far as up leveling, areas you need to heal in potentially, so you can actually be in position to attract that guy. Because if you're not that, if you're not a wife, and we talk about this often,
Yeah.
if you're not a wife right now, then someone who's ready to be a husband won't find you, because they're not looking for women that are potentially going to be wives. They're looking for women that are functioning as wives. You're not married, but you're functioning, your lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
your discipline, you're doing things that are adding value to you, potentially your kids. You're
Mm-hmm.
doing these things now. You're not waiting on someone to come.
Yeah.
You're living as a wife, and those men, when they find you, just like I did, they're going to move countries. They're going to do whatever they have to do to be
Mm-hmm.
close to you.
And actually, that's a really good point, honey. Here's the thing. This is something that we were really going deep with our girls today in our meetup is your husband, like men need to be able to feel your energy.
Hmm.
Because if you're new to this channel, we teach a lot about the dynamics between masculine and feminine energy.
Yes.
So if you want a healthy attraction in your dating life and in your marriage, you need to really understand polarity and understand masculine and feminine energy. And especially if you want a man that is in his provider
Hmm.
energy, a man that you don't have to chase, a man that shows up
Yes.
consistently for you, a man that makes you feel safe in your nervous system, a man that just wants to treat you like a princess. That's the type of men that we help our women attract, and we've been really successful at. But in order for you to attract the type of guy, ladies, you have to be in your soft feminine
Mm.
energy. And so the big thing is a lot of times, because I've been coaching women for a long time, a lot of times women are still in this hiding
Yes.
energy. And I know this might sound a little bit confusing, but I want you to like lean in for a second. You at a head knowledge, this is how you know you're in hiding energy, okay? So you at a head knowledge, you want your husband, you're ready to call on your husband, like you think you know what you want, all this stuff, but you don't want to fully put yourself out
Mm.
there, because if you fully put yourself out there, then you might get
Yeah.
rejected. Right? So this could look like not wanting to go on a dating app,
Mm.
which I understand, by the way, because I did not want to go on a dating app. This is literally why I created the Feminine Energy Academy, so I can hold your hand and help you in
Right.
this process, because I understand how uncomfortable it is to put yourself out there as a woman. But yeah, the biggest thing is like not wanting to just go out, not wanting to be seen. This is also why women will hold on to weight. That's a
Mm.
huge reason why women will hold on to weight, because they subconsciously don't want to be seen.
Mm.
And I don't know if there's anything else you want to add to that, babe,
Yeah.
but it's so important, babe, that he can feel your energy. And when
Yes.
he, so it's kind of like with live streaming. This is how I explained it to my girls today. It's kind of like live streaming. The girls that have been following us for a while,
Yeah.
you watch our YouTube channel, you're in the Feminine Energy Academy, you can feel our energy. You can feel my energy through the live stream. Men have to be able to feel your energy,
Mm.
even online,
Yeah. And that's
or when you're out and about and doing things, in order for them to be attracted to
no,
you.
that's such a good point because a lot of times people kind of separate, okay, I'm online,
Hmm.
I'm in person, we're on the
Yeah.
phone, so it's different. So I'm on the phone with this person, so I can lay down, I can have my
Yeah.
eyes closed, or we can be online and I can just say stuff and become someone else. But the
Yeah.
thing is, whoever you are always comes out. So
Hmm.
if you're online, men feel that energy.
Yeah.
Men can sense if you're really into him, if it's somebody who's just talking, somebody who just wants to go on a date,
Hmm.
somebody who wants a meal.
Yeah.
Men can sense this over time. So really showing up as your authentic self, coming healed and whole,
Hmm.
that's the way you attract someone who wants to marry you. Because what can happen is you can be nice looking, you're
Hmm.
online, a man wants to take you out on a date, but you always have first dates, you never have a second date. You'll
Hmm.
have two dates, you'll never have a third date. It never grows to what you desire for it to be.
Hmm.
Even though men look at you as attractive, men are always complimenting you.
Hmm.
It's your energy that always follows you if you're aware of it or not. So it's so important that your energy is correct
Hmm.
when you're talking about moving forward in relationships. Otherwise, you can't fool people. You can't fool guys that are aware. They may go out with you,
Hmm.
but deep down inside, they'll know like, okay, this one's not for me, but let me get what I can out of it.
Hmm. So good. All right, baby, did you see any
We had a
questions of?
couple of good questions in here. Let me see. Um, Let me see if I can go through which one I want to share with everyone. Um,
Well,
uh,
okay, so while he's looking for other questions, we did have another question where
yes.
somebody
Oh
asked,
yes.
how do I bring the romance?
Mm,
How do I bring the romance? Which is really important, because
yes.
what often will happen, especially when you're dating provider type men, is because a lot of times they're very focused on work.
Yes.
And so that can come across as boring. So they're focused on work, and they're a lot of times they're simple, they're consistent, and that consistency can feel boring,
Yeah.
because especially if you're used to trauma bonding, especially if you're used to dating guys, like the bad boys that
Mm,
are hot and cold. I'm calling them boys because it's boys, but men that are wounded, right?
yeah.
And so they're hot and cold, hot and cold. You don't know if they're going to text you or if they're not going to text you. You don't know if they're going to call you or they're not going to call you. And you're used to that because you're physically attracted to them. You're actually addicted to the dopamine.
Yes.
And what will happen is when you come into our world and you do a lot of inner healing, and we teach you what provider energy men look like they're
Yes.
consistent. It's okay if they feel boring at the beginning, but they're showing up consistently for you. You're going to be like, but this kind of feels boring. What do I do?
Mm,
How can I, spark the attraction? How can I add some romance? And so what I teach my girls is You got to bring the romance, babe.
Mm.
That's the job of the feminine, is you bring the romance.
Yes.
Now, it's different in dating and marriage, and I'll give you examples of both. So if you're in the dating phase, babe, bringing the romance is you are just so in love with life.
Mm.
You are what I call flirting with life. Everything. Like you are just so in love with yourself. You're so in love with everything around you. You're seeing the beauty in things. You're seeing the fun in things.
Yes.
You're not all up in your head walking around overthinking, over analyzing, rushing around like a little sperm, like
Hmm.
in sperm energy. You're not doing any of that. You are literally just practicing being present, having fun, appreciating the little things. That's
Yes.
you being your feminine, babe. And what will naturally happen as you lean into your feminine energy and you're just appreciating and having fun, no attachment to outcome, you will naturally attract and activate the
Yeah.
masculine energy around you. Okay.
Yes.
And so you're the fun babe. You are bringing the flavor. It's kind of like, a different ice cream cones, like the man is the cone and you're the different flavors. You get to, you get
Exactly.
to switch it up. You get to, like in our situation, my husband, I love him so much. He's so stable, consistent, simple, just wants to wear the same basic shirt every single day. And I absolutely love that about him. But, now that we're married and, now we're starting to spice things up with his different
Yeah.
outfits, right? That's a perfect example of that. And then I'll mention one more thing, and then you can get to the
Okay.
questions. And then in a marriage, it's important that you're also bringing that
Yeah.
romance. You, babe, you're bringing the romance. You're bringing the fun. But you, as a woman, you're not going to be able to bring the romance once again if you are overworking and you're exhausted. So, as a married woman with 4 kids, things that are important for me now, and I understand what it's like being a single mom, but being even now, like before and now, it was important for me to have help around the house. It was
Mm.
important for me to outsource things, and, having healthy boundaries so that I wasn't so exhausted. Because if you're so exhausted, babe, you're not going to want to bring any romance to your
Mm.
marriage. So, yeah, sorry,
Yes.
baby, go ahead.
No, we had a question. Young lady on here said, "How do you know what a provider energy man wants?"
Mm,
So,
go ahead,
how do
honey.
you know what a provider? Well, it's really what a provider energy man wants. And we go deeper in the Feminine Energy Academy where we talk about this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times men don't know how to really interpret, know how to break down what we
Explain
want.
it.
Right. We
Yeah.
don't know how to explain it. But what he wants is really a feminine woman. And
Mm-hmm.
when you say a woman who's soft, a woman who has a soft answer, a
Mm-hmm.
woman who
Yeah.
who listens, a woman who's not complaining, a woman who's first
Mm-hmm.
and foremost, and we can look past this if we want to, a woman who he's attracted to, who
Mm-hmm.
takes care of her body, because how it works is men are moved by what they see.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're nice looking, that gets you in the door with a provider energy man, because
Mm-hmm.
it's so important for a provider energy man who's going out, who's doing deals, who's making things happen.
Mm-hmm.
You're a representation of him. So making sure that you take care of your looks, take care of your body is so key.
Mm-hmm.
Then just being in your soft energy, just being one that's there to help, but not one that's always down his back and always making him feel like he
Mm-hmm.
hasn't done enough. Encouraging him, being
Mm-hmm.
his biggest cheerleader.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that he does, even if some things don't work, you're encouraging him, letting him know that you've got his back. Anything that he's doing to help the family, always being there to let him know that you're there to support him. So someone who's his biggest cheerleader, who takes care of herself, and like my brother-in-law told my sister, just someone nice looking. This is what he told her.
Yes.
So
And
ladies,
he's a provider, and
and
she
he's a
got married
provider.
at 52.
Yes, ladies. So don't. This is what he said. This is what's coming from a man.
Yeah.
Someone who's nice looking, someone who keeps the weight off, and he just want her to make sure those grays are not in. Just color those grays. I don't want to see
Yeah.
those. Those were his requirements.
Yeah.
So it's real simple. Every man is different, but in general, he kind of wrapped it up in a couple of words.
And this is something that we've helped a lot of women attract. So,
Yes.
like I said, we recently, just a couple of weeks ago, another one of our ladies, she was a former single mom, came to us in the Feminine Energy Academy. And she was a single mom. And then she attracted her
Yes.
husband online, and now she's getting married. She's engaged and married. And what we'll do, I don't know if you're able to add the link also to the Feminine
Yes.
Energy Academy. If you want to try out we have a free trial, so you can jump in. You can literally binge watch our content. We have an entire rotational dating for marriage program in there where I walk you through everything, everything on your end. So what you need to do to call in that person, how to get clarity,
Yes.
energetic clarity, how to look the part,
Yes.
how to communicate with them, how to talk with them, how to rotationally date, all of that.
Yes.
But I just want to echo what you were saying.
Yes.
Provider, and you have to understand what a provider energy man is. Okay, so a provider energy man is a man that is, just think of the sperm. Okay, the sperm, he's chasing, he's going, he's providing.
Yes.
This is how God has created masculine men, to provide and to protect. That's what, at a DNA level, at a sperm level, that is how they've been created. Okay, so because men, all their resources, all their energy is in their head, they're focused on going and working and doing and just fighting and
Yes.
hunting and all that stuff. It's tiring for them. So what happens is, when they are around a woman, the last thing they want is to be around masculine energy.
Yeah.
So if you're a boss babe, like a lot of our women are,
Mhm.
boss babe, you're a good-hearted woman, you're probably beautiful, successful, likes to take care of everybody, all that stuff. That's okay. But if you don't realize that you're in your masculine energy, which is the doing energy, he's going to be turned off.
Yeah.
So the masculine energy provider type man wants that soft energy. He wants a safe place, a peaceful place to come rest
Yes.
his head, right? So little subtle things like talking back,
Yes.
attitude,
Yes.
arguing,
Yes.
criticizing, nitpicking, those, or how about, this is a big one, where you're so busy taking care of everybody, the kids, the household, you stop taking care of
Yeah.
yourself. You're just totally neglecting yourself. You're neglecting your hormones. You're neglecting how you look, but you're such a good person. And so you can't understand why men aren't attracted to you, because
Yeah.
you're such a good person. Well, you're so busy taking care of everybody. You're so busy doing things, building stuff. You don't realize that you're in your masculine. And so that's not what provider energy type men, they actually
And
want the simplicity.
and these
Yeah.
guys, they won't argue back with you.
Mhm.
They won't fight with you. They're not trying to change you. Most healthy masculine energy men,
Yeah.
especially if you're not married, they'll
Mhm.
just end the relationship. They'll move on because it's not something that they want to spend their energy doing. We don't want to go back and forth with you and convince you to be the
Mhm.
type of woman we desire. We just see right now she's not there. There's nothing I can do about it. I may like her, but I have to move on to keep my peace.
Yeah.
Because anything outside of just allowing you to be who you are, that's why it's so important to do the work
Mhm.
before getting into the relationship. Once we see that you've done it, then we're able to move. It's so much provider energy men want to do for you,
Mhm.
but we're not going to release our resources. We're not going to invest time in someone that we don't feel is a good return on investment. And that's someone or something. And we're not talking about you as a piece of meat or anything like
Mhm.
that, but just in terms of investing our time and resources, we have to make sure that it's worth it, because if it's not, then we can't get that back. Men can make money, but you can't get your time back. And that's something that healthy provider energy men really hold dear.
Yeah, and another thing that you always talk about, honey, and maybe you can restate this
Okay.
today, where men, like high quality men that have options, high value provider type men, don't want to be with women that nobody else wants.
Yes, that's so true.
Yeah.
And it sounds funny, but the
Mhm.
reality is, if you're someone who's just out here and
Mhm.
you're dating them and them, but nobody's committing to you, nobody's really looking for you,
Mhm.
men are going to be like, if nobody's looking for her, I don't want to be with her. I don't want to commit to her. I'll
Mhm.
mess around with her, but she's always available. No
Mhm.
man wants a woman who's always available, because that lets us know nobody's checking in on you.
Mhm.
Nobody's ready to commit to you. And instead of us doing all the work to try to figure out why, we'll just say, oh, well, this doesn't look right. Let me
Mhm.
just move on.
Yeah.
And That's what happens if you find yourself always in situationships, nobody wants to commit to you. It'll be harder for the next man to want to commit to you. And the thing with us is, she was previously married, I was formerly engaged.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, her former husband passed. So me coming in, I knew she was a wife. She
Mhm.
has wife qualities. She just carried herself in a certain way, having kids. She she functioned as a mother and a wife.
Mhm.
So that I knew coming in. So now it's like, okay, do the other things match up? But
Mhm.
she already had that box check, and it made it easy for me.
So good. And this is why we teach our girls to rotationally date.
Yes.
Okay? Because it's going to be triggering for the guy, but it'll be triggering for the guy in a healthy way.
Yes.
Because if he's not competing with anything,
Yeah.
he's not going to have any sense of urgency
No,
to want to put a ring on your
not at all.
finger.
Not at
Ladies,
all.
this is so huge, especially if you really like the guy.
Yeah.
It's so important that you don't get super attached to the
Yes.
guy right away. He can feel your energy. Even if
Yes.
there's a specific person that you're so fixated on right now, like you just want to be with this one person. And we understand because I mean, these are the type of women that
Yes.
we coach all the time. There's a certain man that they really, really
Yes.
want to be with, but he can feel your energy. He can feel that you're obsessed with him,
Yes.
that you only want to be with him. He knows he can go out and do whatever he
Yep.
wants and you're going to be right there. He can call you up and you're right there. For those of you that don't know, like when we first started talking and dating, he wasn't fully stepping up,
Mm-hmm.
and so I had to be like, okay,
Yeah.
see ya later
Yeah.
type thing. I had to detach. I'm like, this is not going to work. I'm ready to get married. I'm dating for a marriage. And he just wasn't there yet, which is
Yep.
okay. So I had to let him go. And what happens is when you rotationally date, they can sense it.
Yeah.
They can sense it. And, they're either going to fall away completely and clear space for your husband to come in, or they're going to step up and want to marry you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we have so many good questions. I have
Yes.
one that I wanted to answer now for us. Laverne said, how do I balance fun along with showing the man that I'm also a serious person
Mm.
as what as who he's looking for in a relationship?
That's a
Great
great
question,
that's a
baby.
great question.
You wanna dive in on it first while I continue to look for other
Okay,
questions?
yeah, sure. Okay, so how do you show that you're a fun person to be around, but you're also serious? So what he's going to be doing is he's going to be looking at your life, like
Mm-hmm.
what you have going on. You're not just like sitting around doing stuff. Like you have passions, you have
Yes.
stuff going on, but you also have space for him to
Yes.
come in. So you don't want to be super busy, right? And then the biggest thing, babe, is when he's in your presence, you guys are having fun together. This is like the biggest game changer for you ladies that are listening right now is when you are FaceTiming, when you are texting, when you're on phone calls, but most importantly, when you are in person on dates with a guy, you're not all up in your head. You are just so present and he is able
Yes.
to get out of his head
Yeah.
and he's able to just feel your energy. He's able to just feel good in your presence. He's able to get into his heart. And I know that sounds so
Yes.
cheesy, but you have to remember with provider type men, masculine energy men, all their energy is up in their head. They're constantly thinking, analyzing, all of these things all the time. So when you're on a date with him, you don't want to be like in this interview style with him. You don't want to be asking him all these
Yeah.
questions. So he's in thinking mode and he has to think about work and this. No, you want to just relax and you want to be able to have fun. You want him to be able to relax and have fun in your presence. And when that happens, this is why I teach my girls like, you don't even have to really talk. You just have to
Mm.
sit and listen and be magnetic. A lot of my girls will listen to, we have a whole bunch of dating audios that they'll listen to before they go on dates to really shift their energy, and he can just feel your energy and all of a sudden he's going to be like, oh my gosh, I want to be with this girl.
Mm-hmm.
This girl is so different because there's so many women when they're on dates with guys, they're busy trying to prove themselves.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing this. That's not what he's going to find fun. What he's going to find fun is he gets out of his head.
Mm.
He just gets to be in the moment with you. You're appreciating.
Yes.
Here's a really big thing, ladies. You're appreciating the littlest things. Even if you go for an ice cream cone
Yes.
or a cup of coffee,
Yes.
you are just oozing
Yes.
joy. You're just oozing appreciation for that simplicity. He is going to love that
Yes.
and be impressed by him.
Yes.
That's huge.
Yes.
Okay. What would you add to that, babe?
Well, specifically the last part of that, when you're getting to know a guy and you're going on dates with him, he's asking you out.
Mhm.
The key is really the appreciation, but understanding that men's thought process when they're getting to know you.
Mm.
First, it's like, okay, I really need to get to know her before I spend a whole bunch of time,
Mhm.
money, or anything on her. So, getting asked to go out on a coffee date is
Mhm.
a great thing because that means he wants to get to know you.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad thing. Like, okay, he's only taking me to coffee. Trust me, if you're patient,
Mhm.
things work out. He's going to be taking you everywhere. He's going to be flying you across the world.
Yep.
But it's really about initially because he's not rotationally dating. Let me take that back. He has a
He has
roster.
a roster.
He has a roster.
Yeah.
You're rotationally dating,
Mhm.
so he's talking to multiple women. So he's not
Mhm.
going to put everything on one woman if he's not into her.
Mhm.
Then once he finds the one that he wants to be with, then the rest will just have to disappear or leave, and
Mhm.
he'll put everything into you. But initially, be okay with him asking you out on a coffee date, second, third, fourth date. Then he'll start taking you other places. But understand it's just part of his process and way of weeding out the wrong ones through conversation, through getting to know you.
Another thing you can do, ladies, that will make you really fun in the
Mhm.
presence of the masculine is that you legit have fun outside of dating.
Mhm.
This is something I had to really retrain my nervous system how to do because before Coach B came into the picture, had gone through so much trauma and loss with my
Mhm.
first marriage. Like he had went through cancer treatments and stuff like that. Like I forgot to how to have fun. So
Mm.
that was like the first thing that I started doing on my inner healing journey was learning how to have fun again, learning how to take care of my body, learning how, I didn't want to be a depressed mom. You know how so many single moms look burnt out, like life has beat the crap out of them? I was
Mm.
like, I refuse. I refuse to be that mom. And so I had to just start having fun,
Mm.
like learning how to love myself again, starting to dance, take a Zumba class or something, starting to dance, starting to take care of my body. So I started to make new friendships because when you're single, if you're used to being in a relationship and you're single, you need to make new friends. So I was doing that and I was just really, really focusing on just enjoying my life again. And so for you ladies, this was really important. This is not something you can just turn on and off.
Mm.
If you live a miserable life, like you do not like your life and everything is chaotic and you're stressed out and your hormones are a mess and you're depressed, it's going to be very challenging for
Yes.
you to have fun on a date
Yes.
because you're not embodied in that. It's kind of like this, when people are like, oh, I just want to go on a vacation so I can relax. And then by the time they get on vacation, they don't know how to relax. Like their
Mm.
nervous system doesn't know how to relax, right? So they actually have to learn how to relax before they go
Yes.
on the vacation so they can actually enjoy their vacation. That's what embodiment means. That's the feminine. Embodiment means that you know how to and like you actually feel it in your body. You actually know how to relax. You actually know
Yes.
how to fun. You're not walking around with this anxious energy all the time. So that is so, so important. And of course, if you're struggling with that, that's something that I really help my girls with their inner healing, and their hormones, especially too, in the Feminine Energy Academy.
We have another question from One World.
Really, really good questions, you guys.
How do I move on from a situationship after my divorce that I got into with someone 10 years younger? His family is
Mm,
ashamed of me that I'm divorced and have two
mm.
adult sons. I'm 43 and stunning and kind.
Aw.
Mhm.
So the question was, how does she get over it?
Yeah, how does she move on from she said, got into someone 10 years younger.
10 years ago. Okay,
How
so
do I move on from a situationship
okay.
after divorce?
Okay, so let's talk about this. So if you tend to attract younger men, ladies, if you're attracted to younger men, and I'm not talking about you attract all men and some of them are younger, some of them are older, but I'm talking about you tend to only attract
Hmm.
younger men. You're attracted to younger men. You're in situationships with a younger men or a younger man. Typically, what's happening is you are in your masculine
Yes.
energy. And a lot of times these are single moms because you're so used to taking care of business, taking care
Mm.
of the household, taking care of kids, building businesses, all that stuff. You're probably not even aware that you're in that masculine energy. Now, what tends to happen, and you probably look good also, right? You probably don't look your age. And then what happens is younger men are attracted to that because a lot of times these younger men have also been raised by women that were in their masculine energy. A lot of times they're single moms as well. So that's familiar for
Mm-hmm.
them, because relationships, you guys, we are just playing out childhood relationships. We as adults just play out childhood relationships. So if you are used to being in your masculine energy because that's all you've known, you've been in
Mm.
survival mode and taking care of people, and then he's used to, his mother was a masculine energy mom, which is like so many men nowadays, and they're not aware of it. That's why you guys are so attracted to each
Mm.
other. Okay. And so, what I would encourage you to do, babe, and this is what I get a lot of my girls to do, and there's no shame. Okay. Like, I'm glad that you asked this question because this is so common with
Mm.
so many people. What I encourage you to do is get your healing, is actually do your inner healing, learning how to lean into your feminine energy, learning how to not be the provider, protector person in your life. Especially a lot of times, these are the really kind hearted women. These are
Yeah.
the women that take care of everybody. These are the women that love God a lot of times,
So true.
right? You're just so used to taking care. You're in this energy of taking care of people. When you're in this energy of taking care of everybody, you're going to attract people that want to be taken care of subconsciously.
And one thing I
So,
want to add to it as well,
yeah.
when you're looking to get out of a situationship,
Mm-hmm.
the first thing you have to do is you make the decision.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
And don't concern yourself with how he's going to respond, because if you've
Mm-hmm.
been in a situationship, then it's something convenient for him. He doesn't want to lose it. He
Mm-hmm.
wants to keep that convenience because he's benefiting from it in a way that you probably aren't. He's getting,
Mm-hmm.
either he's getting that time, he's getting money, he's getting sex, whatever it is, he's
Mm-hmm.
getting it without a commitment, and he wants to continue that. So when you tell him that you're getting out of it, he's going to come up with every excuse in the book why you shouldn't. He's going to tell you everything
Mm-hmm.
that sounds good. He's going to try to tap into your emotions. That's why it's so important for you to make the decision before even moving forward with it. Be
Mm-hmm.
set in the decision. It's not that you're asking anyone. You're making the decision, and then you want to do
Mm-hmm.
the inner work that Natasha's talking about. I'm just going to tell you
Yes.
the mindset you
Yes.
have to
Yes.
have, because if you don't have this mindset,
Mm-hmm.
guys love this game. They'll play this game
Mm-hmm.
all day with you, and it'll be reoccurring. You'll stop
Mm-hmm.
talking. 2 weeks later, he's
Mm-hmm.
back over. He called you in a weak
Mm-hmm.
point. He's the one that hurt you, but he's the one healing you. He hurt you. You're at home crying. He's calling, apologizing, tell you he'll come over to help you out. He's the reason you're in that situation. Don't buy it.
Yes.
Move on from him. Make a decision. Move on, because he's going to keep continuing that cycle.
I love what you're saying. And ladies, here's the other thing that's so important. So because this can feel really hard. Like you
Yeah.
can feel like it almost can feel like an addiction, right? Like, or you care about the person so much, you're in love with this person so much, they love you so much, whatever, right? What's actually happening is you're hormonally and energetically entangled with this person. Like you have to energetically
Yep.
and hormonally detox from this person, like cut this person off.
Mm-hmm.
And that part can be really challenging. This is why we have so much inner healing stuff.
Yes.
Like I actually have a masterclass in the Feminine Energy Academy where I talk about how to nervous system re-regulate and untangle yourself, like
Yes.
uncouple yourself from a situationship or even just a past relationship.
Yes.
Because what happens is, first of all, you are hormonally bonded to the person. If
Mm-hmm.
you're in a situationship and you guys were intimate together, you're hormonally bonded to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also already know that when you're intimate with people, you get energetically entangled with them. That's what happens. Like this is actual science, right? So you have to allow yourself to go through basically like a
Yes.
detox period.
Yes.
And also, you got to ask yourself, okay, why am I so attached to
Mm.
this situationship?
Yes.
Why am I so attached to somebody that is not fully stepping up and claiming me to be, their wife? Am I worthy of that? Another reason why women will stay in these situationships is because deep down they don't want to get married or they don't feel worthy of having someone to fully
Mm-hmm.
to fully choose them. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
so many good questions in here, and I wanted to get to this next one. This
Yeah.
is real. Said, how did you go about telling Coach B that you were moving on? Did you say
Oh
something
yeah.
like you really liked him, but you're looking for marriage? How should we word it? That's a great question.
That's a really good question. So we were talking, we had met up, but we were in different countries. He was calling me every single night. He was super consistent about that. But I understood even back then that, our feminine energy is expensive. Our time is
Yes.
expensive. And if you're spending a lot of time with a man on the phone and he's getting access to
Yeah.
your energy, he's less likely to take it to that next
Yes.
level. Right. So that's why you want to have these healthy boundaries where they're not just getting access to you, FaceTiming and phone calls, because they're going to, if he's focused on doing other stuff like building businesses or whatever, he's not going to have that urgency to take things to the next level. And this is why women will get themselves into situationships where all of a sudden a year has gone by and the guy hasn't stepped up. And then
Mm.
now you've wasted your time, right? Where you could have been dating other guys. So first of all, it's getting clarity on your energy of why you're doing what you're doing, and
Mm.
not wasting your time. Now, what I did straight up is we had another FaceTime call. I was like, I need to chat with you.
We know we don't like those
Yeah.
conversations.
I wasn't triggered at all. I really cared about him, and he knew that. Like, we had such a
Yes.
great connection. He knew that I really liked him,
Mhm.
and I knew that he really liked me. But I was just straight up like, okay, just, like, things aren't moving forward, and I don't want to waste your time.
Yeah.
I don't want to waste my time. I'm not into, phone call relationships. So I'm just going to have to move on and let this go. And
Yeah.
then he didn't fight me on it. He's like, okay.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
because it's so important, and it was something subconsciously that I was doing.
Yeah.
Being a lifelong bachelor outside of the time that I was engaged.
Yeah.
Just it's when you get to those points in relationship where a decision has to be made. A lot of times what happens, and we talked about this in a different video, is
Mhm.
that transition stage for men when it goes from
Mhm.
talking to, okay, now we're together exclusively to engage. That can be uncomfortable, and it can do something to our nervous system where it's like we delay that.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it was stuff going on, of course. It was a lot of self-sabotage there because it was like, okay, I want to make that move, but just finding reasons
Mhm.
that I shouldn't. And it's a good thing that we didn't move forward at that time, because it was still some things that I needed to deal with. But a lot of times it can be that self-sabotage on our end because we're not comfortable making that
Mhm.
transition. Even though I wanted to be with her, everything was great. It
Mhm.
was just me making that decision and not being ready. So if she wouldn't have done that, we probably wouldn't have continued to talk. But in most
Yeah.
situations, things can go on for years.
Yeah.
You can go on in relationships for years. The man will slowly make that decision. He may put a ring on your
Mhm.
finger just to make you feel good. No wedding date, no
Mhm.
venue, no nothing. He's just buying time. And that's something that she wasn't going to allow,
Mhm.
but that's something that happens often where men are buying time until you stop talking about it. Now you stop
Yeah.
talking about it. You're 8 years
Mhm.
in, you have 2 kids, and families are meshed, and you're legally married by law. So now it's like, okay, you don't need the paperwork. We're okay. I don't need the government telling me what to do. But her stepping up, making a decision,
Mhm.
being okay with whatever I said. And I just said okay
Mhm.
because it was a lot to hear. Right. So it's not, I didn't want to get emotional, be like, well, what you mean, all that. It's just like I had to listen, say,
Yeah.
okay, let me take a step back
Mhm.
and then decide what I needed to do, which
Mhm.
was do some more inner healing. And then the rest is history. We know the story 6 months later.
Yeah, exactly. And here's the thing, ladies. If you've been doing this right, where he's feeling so good in your energy,
Mhm.
he's going to miss the crap out of you. And men need time to process things. Now, here's the thing, ladies. This is so important, is you do not wait around for guys.
Yes.
I was not sitting around waiting for him. Trust me. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I also realized that, oh, you know what? I think I need to do a little bit more
Mm.
inner healing. And that's what I did. I spent that time doing more inner healing. And I see this all the time with women where they'll stay so attached to a guy. And then before you know it, this guy is wasting your
Yes.
time. Okay, so don't waste your time. It's different for women than it is for men, especially if you're a single mom. If
Mm.
you're a single mom, you don't have time to waste, right? And so one of our ladies that just got engaged, I had the same chat with her, like, babe, this is not just about you. This is about your daughter too. And that's when she got rid of the situationship she
Yep.
was dealing with, and that cleared space for her husband to come into the picture. And now she's, getting married. And so for you ladies, this is so important. I was more attached to the idea, and I would say committed. I was more committed to getting married than I was to any particular guy. I was open to whoever God had for me. I did my part because that's the only thing you can do is work on your part. So I was preparing myself. I was getting ready for my husband. And part of that was not talking every night to a guy that's not stepping up to
Yeah.
be my husband. Right. So I mean, I was doing what I teach you girls to do. And what will happen is it's a win-win situation for you, babe. Because when you separate yourself, that means you're not obsessing about him, you're not checking his stories, you're not texting him, you're not, you're just not obsessing about the guy. You're not chasing him. When you can give him that space, he has time to process. Men take more time to
Yes.
process. So he's going to start missing you. He's going to start being like, okay, this is, you know, not the same
Yeah. Yeah.
without her. And then that gives him that space to come towards you. Or he's going to move on with his life and he's cleared space for your husband to find you. Yeah.
Yeah, it happens like clockwork. When
Yes.
you
Yeah.
detach and you go silent like she did, she didn't reach out to me,
Mm-hmm.
she didn't check in on me. And of course, in the Feminine Energy Academy, you ladies already know that's the wrong way about going about it. But
Yeah.
when you're in your chasing masculine energy mode, you can do that because you miss him. I didn't hear a whisper from her for
Yes.
at any moment. So for
Mhm.
me, okay, I'm moving on with my life. And then at some point, something hit me that something's missing.
Mhm.
And because of how she was when we were talking, when we met in person, yeah, I was feeling like, okay, this is someone I need to be with.
Mhm.
And when I reached out to her, it was like, okay, I hope she's not talking to anybody because you take that chance.
Yes, you
You
do.
take that, but it's a chance that you have to take to make sure you get in the right relationship.
Mhm.
So when I reached out to her, I came back ready. It was like, okay, I want to be with you. I want to move forward with you. And then we started talking about, okay, and she asked me, I think I was like in 6 to 12 months, I see us getting married. Now we have a baseline to start with.
Mhm.
Now we're not just talking, having fun.
Yeah.
Now we're not just falling asleep on the phone with each other, but now we're actually going in a direction and as those times came, now it's like, okay, if is he a man of his word? Because if he's not, I'll not waste, but I'll give him 6 to 12 months.
Mhm.
But after that, I have to move on because if not, this is going to continue to drag out. But I was showing signs even before then
Mhm.
because men will let you know. It
Mhm.
won't just be 6 or 12 months come now. I
Mhm.
want to get married to you. We'll show provider energy signs. We'll show protective signs.
Mhm.
We'll show those healthy signs that let you know that we're all in for you. And thankfully, those signs were shown and things worked out for us.
Yeah, and when he does come back, ladies, this is important. When he comes back, you don't just jump into another,
Exactly.
situationship
Exactly.
or whatever with him. You are still so
Yes.
like your boundaries, your standards, you know what you're calling in. So even when he came back, yeah, I was like, "Okay, how are things different?" And
Yes.
it was like one chance, right, to make this work. And
Yes.
he fully stepped up. He moved countries.
Yes.
He was committed to the process with the kids. And, next thing you know, we were engaged and we moved to the US. And, now we're happily married. But the ladies, for you, you have to take your power back because men, this is what we always teach our ladies, men respond to your energy. This is why a
Mm-hmm.
man will be in a relationship or a situationship with one woman for years. And then the next woman comes along that does what we teach her to do. She's
Yes.
in her feminine. She knows how to communicate with the masculine, and he will be engaged in 6 months to her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if
So
you
true.
do this right. And the other thing I'll tell you, ladies, is they always come back.
Mm.
The men always come back. They always do. And I'm saying this because before I started teaching women about feminine energy and dating, I was a hormone coach.
Mm.
I was a hormone and weight loss coach. I mean, I still help women in this area. But what I noticed, it was like clockwork.
Mm.
All these women that I were helping with their hormones and their weight loss and just their inner healing, the men, like ex-husbands were coming back,
Yes.
ex-boyfriends were coming back. All these people were coming back and chasing them because these women, their energy shifted. Their energy wasn't chasing them, chasing the guy, obsessing about the guy, being in their masculine energy. They were learning how to lean back in their delicious, fun, feminine energy. They were starting to look good. They're starting to feel good. And they can sense that. They can
Yes.
smell it.
Yes.
And they come running back.
It's true. I
Yeah.
can say it now,
Yeah.
but it's 100% true.
Yeah. Yeah. So
So
good.
we have Laverne. She said, I joined your academy this month. but can't seem to get in to the sessions. I misplaced my password.
Oh,
So can your team help me on your next
yes.
session, please?
Yes, of
Yes.
course. Okay. So Laverne, yes, absolutely. And Laverne, also in the coaching replay section, all of the master classes are in there.
Mhm.
Okay. So you can watch the replays. And then, yes, we will make sure that we message you after this. And when you get into the Feminine Energy Academy, we have a link above in the calendar section. And you should be able to just click on it and get right into the
Mm,
sessions.
yes. And if
Yeah.
you're having
Yeah.
trouble finding your password and you're not able to recover it, go ahead and sign up again for the Feminine Energy Academy
Yeah.
so you can get right in. You can message us on here, just go into the comment section, message us, and we'll try to figure it out. But definitely, we'll make sure
Yeah.
we get back to you to help you get in.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely, babe.
Let me see. So many good questions as well. We have so many new people on here as well. We also just added the link to the Feminine Energy
Yes.
Academy. So if you're interested in joining, it's a free 7-day trial. You get
Yes.
access to everything in the FEA, everything that we do, all the audios,
Hmm.
all the master calls. You get access to it all. So definitely jump in so we can continue this conversation. Like we always say, this is about 1% of what we do.
Yeah, exactly. The difference in the Feminine Energy Academy, and we're so confident in our results. This is why we do a free trial, and we encourage you girls to jump in and
Mhm.
binge watch. Like, go binge watch our training because we go really deep in there, and you can see us coaching women through real scenarios.
Mhm.
Like, so many women come in, they're like, "Oh my gosh, my mind was blown." And also that it's an opportunity for you to get actual real-time feedback
Yes.
from us and coaching from us in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's so
And it's
good.
so good. Even today, we
Yeah.
had our first meet up
Yeah.
with the ladies in the Feminine Energy Academy. And it was so good because we talk to these ladies daily. We
Yes.
talk to them in the community daily, but we got a chance to really see them face to face and to
Mhm.
really feel their energy
Mhm.
and to really allow us to go even deeper than
Mhm.
we go each and every day. And during that time, it was so much healing, so
Mhm.
many people getting clarity
Mhm.
in those moments. So
Yeah.
it's just layers and layers of healing and
Yeah.
clarity that the ladies are getting in the Feminine Energy Academy. And that meetup was it was just so good and
Mhm.
felt so good to be around those ladies in that moment.
So good. And Brianna's saying, I've been binge watching your videos. Yeah, they're so good. They're life changing,
Yes.
100% life changing for sure. And Alicia, you were asking about our Chicago meetup. We will have another meetup for sure. We're
Yes.
having another meetup in Vegas, but that's already sold out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, but this is just for the women in the Feminine Energy Academy. So you definitely want to be in there. But in the meantime, like, you can still get on a call with us, right?
Yes.
In the Feminine Energy Academy. Every Saturday, we have an actual call where you can get on screen with us and we
Yes.
can work through your stuff. They are so healing. Like, our women are crying, they're releasing. I do a lot of inner child healing with
Yes.
women. I help you release love blocks. Last Saturday actually was all about finances. So I help women with just their nervous system re-regulating around calling in more money. And it's so interesting because it's like, what does this have to do with money? It has everything to do with money.
Mm.
Your ability to receive as a woman has everything to do with your money that you make, that you attract, and the romance that you attract,
Yes.
the type of men that you attract. If you don't know how to receive as a woman and your nervous system is dysregulated, you're going to think that you need to hustle harder,
Mm.
work harder, chase more men, chase money, and all that stuff. That's that masculine energy. So last Saturday, it was such a powerful masterclass where I was helping the women. I was giving them step by step instructions and walking them through and teaching them how to nervous system re-regulate to
Mm.
hold more money, to hold more money, to hold more romance, so that they can actually attract it. And the replay will be available tomorrow.
Yes.
Our team will put that in there so you guys
Yes.
can watch the replay if you
Yes.
want.
And
Yes.
Brianna, if you're in the Feminine Energy Academy, the link is
Mhm.
there. If you're in there, message me about the Vegas event. We have a wait list as well. I know you said
Yeah.
it's a short 8-hour drive for you.
Oh,
So potentially still an opportunity. So reach out to me if you're in the Feminine Energy Academy. If you're not,
Mm.
join the Feminine Energy Academy. Reach out to me there, and we'll see if we could get you, help you be a part of it.
Yes, so good. Well, this was fun. This was
Yes,
our first evening live.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Sunday evening live, right?
Sunday evening live.
Yes.
If you're watching the replay, you can comment below if you have questions. We like to take our questions and then
Mhm.
we'll jump on the live streams and we will answer girls' questions on the live. But if you have a scenario right now that you really want us to help you just work through, then that's when you want to jump in the Feminine Energy Academy. You will get a message from me right away
Yes.
where I'm asking you exactly what it is that you're going through right now. You can tell me your story and you can tell me exactly what it is that you are wanting to work on: your hormones, your nervous system, your feminine energy, maybe a dating situation
Mhm.
or situationship, a marriage challenge. We have women that we've helped
Yes.
in their marriages. Maybe your energetics around money and finances, inner
Yes.
healing, all those things. It's like, it's literally the best place for personal
Yes.
development and feminine energy for women on the
Yes.
internet, like hands down. Yes. I love that I'm catching you live. Yes. Well,
Yes.
we're about to wrap up. So this was so
Yes.
fun. Yeah.
Yes. We got to do it again on a Sunday evening.
Hmm.
And any questions, anything you have, jump into the Feminine Energy Academy. I just added the link, and we look forward to seeing you all there shortly.
Okay. Bye, guys.